What's up, duelists? I'm just setting up my lighting for this video. Can you tell the lighting is better? Can you tell it's better? Can you tell it's better? Setting up cameras always makes me feel like the Joker. Like I'm the Joker, you know? Like I'm the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Are you anything, watching the video, are you anything like me in that you love playing pretty foil cards like this, but just fucking hate when they come like they came out of a fucking tube? Like they were shipped in like fucking that bank thing, you know, when you go to the drive-through banks and then they send you you know what I'm talking about, right? Are you someone who hates that? Well, today I've got a solution for you. Today I've got the answers. I've got the answers and I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to show you how to build an all foil tier 1 Edison deck without using any foils that warp. How are you going to do that, Keegan? How are you going to make that happen? How are you going to make that happen? Oh, I'll fucking show you. I'll show you the deck list. But first, I got to explain some foil stuff. Some stuff about certain foils that they use in Yu-Gi-Oh, the trading card game. If you've been around for a while like I have, you might remember a Yu-Gi-Oh arcade game that some official stores had off to the side of their retail space. And if you aren't an experienced duelist like myself, you might have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's true, back in 2008, Konami started to release the Yu-Gi-Oh arcade game that's something special foiling. Special foiling! Dual terminal. They're foil cards. Even the commons come in foil, but they don't warp. Why don't they warp? Because it's a special foiling. But what do we call this special foiling? I need to hit up an expert. There's only one man on the face of the planet who could possibly know exactly what this type of foiling is called. I hit up Ruxin34 in the DMs. Of course, check him out on YouTube. He's a very powerful collector, probably the most powerful YouTube collector that I can think of. Also, very entertaining videos. I hit him up in the DMs. I was like, yo, hope you're going well. Can I ask you a question? The type of foilings on shatter foils, star foils, mosaic foils, dual terminal, etc. Is there a name for that type of foil? To which he replied, are you talking about the laminated layer? I don't know if there was a general term to describe those as a whole. To which I replied, yes, exactly that, the laminated foil layer. Okay, so since there isn't a name for that type of foiling, would you be down to like make one up? Like, would you be down to like, you know, name it yourself? You can come up, you could be the pioneer of this, Ruxian. I gave him an opportunity to invent a name, and he replied, of course, honestly, laminated rare doesn't sound that bad. So today, I'm going to be showing you a tier 1 Edison format deck list that is entirely laminated rare. No warping, all foil, best of both worlds. See you guys in the deck list. Of course, if you guys haven't already figured out by the thumbnail, the deck that I did end up building using only laminated foil cards is Quick Draw Dandy Warrior, which is one of my favorite decks in Edison format. Thankfully, a lot of the cards that are in the stereotypical lists of that deck are available in laminated foil. Starting off, of course, with Dual Terminal 6, 3 copies of Quick Draw Synchron. One of the most important cards of the deck, part of your powerful 2-card combo with the next card in the deck, Double Dandelion, the Mosaic Rare from Battle Pack 2. These are both laminated foil cards. They look actually so much better in person. I wish I could show off the detail of these on camera, but they just look fantastic. And again, like I mentioned in the intro, these cards do not warp. They are all foil and they do not warp, which makes it just a blast to play with a really sparkly deck that doesn't look awful from the top down, more or less, when you're drawing cards out of it. Next up, 3 copies of Debris Dragon from Dual Terminal 3. Debris Dragon is the other part of your combo. So once you get Dandelion in the graveyard, Debris Dragon becomes a 1-card synchro, bring back Dandelion, get 2 tokens for free. It's just a really, really powerful card to resolve. You can either nuke the board with Black Rose, you can make an Ancient Fairy Dragon, or you can summon Stardust Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend, whatever you really want to. We've got 1 copy of Card Trooper. I am using the Battle Pack 1 Star Foil version of Card Trooper as opposed to the Dual Terminal version. The reason being is the Dual Terminal version is a super rare, so it can actually warp, and I want to avoid that if possible. 3 copies of Raikou Lightsworn Hunter, another way to help you try and find your Dandelion. Also, both these cards, Card Trooper and Raikou, are debris targets, which turn your Debris Dragons into powerful 1-card synchros as the game goes on. And then another card that we're playing in this list is actually 2 main deck copies of Snowman Eater. Now, there's a couple reasons why we've got Snowman Eater in this deck. The first and primary reason is that Lone Fire Blossom is not available in laminated foil, unfortunately. Neither is Titanial Princess of Camellias. So we needed a couple extra level 3 Debris Dragon targets, and Snowman Eater just happens to be the best one. He also helps out our matchup against Blackwings, which is this deck's worst matchup simply because we're very limited on the cards that we can play in order to counter that strategy. The next card we got, of course, triple Caius the Shadow Monarch Starfoil, again from the Battle Pack 1. These look fantastic. This is like one of my favorite rarities of Caius. They just sparkle and pop really, really well. I'm a big fan of this card. Obviously, so is literally everyone else who plays the format. It is the most played card in Edison format. Need I say more? Next card, we got one copy of Rise of the Storm Monarch. I am playing a few additional Monarchs, and I'll get into that in a second. Unfortunately, our boy Thestalos does not come in the laminated foil, but if he did, you best believe we would be playing him in this deck. Next up, we've got one main deck copy of Dark Dust Spirit. This guy is really nice. He actually combos with the next card in the deck, Battle Fader, really, really well. You got to play the one Battle Fader to stop the OTKs, and then the Dark Dust Spirit or the Debris Dragon can come back from the OTK by nuking your opponent's board. Again, for additional defense, we've got Gores, who also does come in Starfoil from that. Is it out of focus? Are we out of focus here? Are we out of focus? What's going on? What's going on here? Come on, focus on the Gores, bro. Focus on the Gores. There we... No, hold it. Oh, there we go. That's not it, but whatever, you get the idea. One copy of Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. One copy of Trigodia. This is actually a really light Starfoil. It doesn't look that great. I kind of want to get another one just because this Starfoiling is like a little bit faded in like a weird way. I don't know. If anyone opens Starfoil cards or has Starfoil cards and they've noticed that some of them are a little bit faded, that is one thing that I've noticed when of course, purchasing a bunch of these for this deck. The next card we've got, triple Volcanic Shell. This just helps you consistently hit that Drill Warrior combo. This can sort of fill the same role as Dandelion with Quick Draw. It also fuels discards for a few other cards that are in the deck list, of course, we'll get to later on. One copy of Treeborn Frog. This guy helps you with your Monarchs. He's also a 1-for-1 target. We are playing 1-for-1 in this deck list. And as our other premium 1-for-1 target, we've got Cyber Valley as well. Both Starfoil, both look very nice. Next up, we got two copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. This guy you can search off of Elemental Hero Stratos, or you can send off of your dual terminal 6 copy of Future Fusion, which is just gorgeous. You can send the Malicious plus the Treeborn Frog, or the Malicious plus the Snowman Eater to reveal Absolute Zero in your extra deck, or you can reveal Elemental Hero Gaia and send Elemental Hero Stratos plus Dandelion, giving you access to Dandelion on the first turn of the game. A very powerful card. Similar vein to that card, we are playing Foolish Burial as well. Dual Terminal 5, I believe. I believe this is from Dual Terminal 5. I can't, hold up. Yeah, Dual Terminal 5, Foolish Burial. Very powerful card, gives you instant Dandy access. Can also send Malicious, Treeborn, Volcanic Shell, a lot of different options in this list specifically, so it's actually pretty good in this list. It's got a lot of utility. I think this card is very good. Honestly, I wish it was at 2. I feel like it would make the Edison format like a lot of fun if Foolish Burial was at 2, but I understand how broken it is as a card, so having it at 1 is just, that's fine. It's, you know, it's cool. It's cool. I'm cool with it at 1, but I kind of wish it was at 2, low-key. Okay, Brain Control, of course, you got to play it. One of the best cards in Edison format. Speaking of best cards in Edison format, of course, Heavy Storm. Starfoil, of course, from Battle Pack 1. Mystical Space Typhoon, another limited spell from Edison format. Dual Terminal 1. This looks fantastic. My goodness, what a beautiful card. And then, of course, that 1-for-1 we mentioned earlier, Starfoil. This is from a special Starfoil release. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it does look very nice compared to the other Starfoils from Battle Pack. And then we've got the Book of Moon. One copy of Book of Moon. This is just a utility card. It's just an extra piece of defense. I love playing at least one Book of Moon in almost every single deck that I play. I think it's one of the best cards in the format. Now onto the trap cards. That's going to do it for the monsters and the spells. Let's just get these the fuck out of here. Go over there. For the trap cards, we've got one copy of Mirror Force, Battle Pack, Starfoil. You know the vibes. It looks very good. I love Mirror Force. Never leave the house without it. Makes you feel safe whenever you draw it. It's just a power card. It can get you +1s. Same thing as Torrential Tribute. This card is very broken. I talked about it in the last Quick Draw video. It's basically Flash Dark Hole. It's literally a better version of Dark Hole, in my opinion. Of course, Trap Dust Shoot comes in Dual Terminal. This card is quite pricey. Something I didn't mention yet, or I might have mentioned, I'm not really sure. But this deck cost a lot of money to make. So if you like this type of thing, if you like this type of video, me building decks in specific rarities or using specific limitations, go ahead and like and subscribe. It helps me do videos like this and afford videos like this because it was quite pricey. I think the total for the main deck of this was just under 180 US dollars. Trap Dusty was a primary contributing factor. For a near mint English one, it's about $20, which is pain in the ass. Triple Phoenix Wing Windblast to round out the entire deck. Now that's the whole main deck, but again, I want to make sure we're not getting any warped cards in post-board games as well. So let's go ahead and check out the sideboard. The sideboard is also entirely laminated foil. We got one copy of Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. This card is amazing. Stops your opponent's DD Crows on your Dandelion, on your other stuff, on your Treeborn Frog, whatnot. And he also attacks your opponent's graveyard. Keeps them out off Fairies for Christia, Lightsworns for JD, stops them from using Mizuki, stops them from activating Dark Armed. It's just a very powerful card. It wouldn't be Edison format without your 3 copies of DD Crow, Dual Terminal number 5. Dual Terminal 5, same set as the Foolish Burial. And then, of course, wouldn't be Edison format without your double Cyber Dragons. Just one of the most powerful sideboard cards in the format. It attacks over Blackwings. It attacks over Glads. It's just a great card. We've got that 3rd Snowman Eater. In this place, I had a Solemn Judgment, and I would play that Solemn Judgment, Starfoil, but unfortunately, I ordered it from a couple different sellers, and neither of those sellers were competent enough to ship out the card, which is unfortunate. But yeah, in this place, there would be a Solemn Judgment, but I did what I could in order to make sure I had this video before YCSLA. We got 2 different Soul Exchanges. Now we've got a Dual Terminal one because that's tight, and then we got a Starfoil one because that's also tight. I wanted to get one of each to show off that you could use either or, whatever your preference is. I think I prefer the Dual Terminal foiling a little bit, but the Star foiling matches some of the other parts of the deck, like the Monarchs, a little bit better. So it's kind of hard to say which one is better. Of course, wouldn't be Edison format without your 2 copies of Dust Tornado. Double copy Starfoil Compulsory Evacuation Device. This is one of the best tools against Blackwings that you get in laminated foil. It also helps you against other really fast aggressive decks and can help you out-tempo certain strategies that might be trying to run you over. And then last but definitely not least, we got 2 copies of Trap Hole from Dual Terminal 2. Now I notice that Trap Hole, the Dual Terminal 2 printies, well, this one's kind of dirty. Ew, gross. Ugh, what is that on the card? You see that? That's gross. I'll clean that later. But yeah, I noticed that these have like a weirder cut than normal cards. They almost look fake, and they almost feel fake too. It's weird. And the back also is like strangely darker than your regular Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a Dual Terminal 2 print thing or what, but these cards did not look real. I mean, they look real in a sense that like the foiling is right and it has the stamp, but like the way it's cut, the corners are really sharp on all of them. I ended up ordering 2 copies of Trap Hole at first, and I was like, oh, these must be like not real because the cut was so weird on them and the coloration was so weird on them, and the cards felt like flimsier than regular Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then I ordered another 2 and they had this same issue, and I'm like, what the hell? From a different seller too. So I don't know if that's like a Dual Terminal 2 thing or if that's just like something that exists in reality, but that's going to round out the sideboard. Of course, the 2 copies of Trap Hole, that's all 15 cards. Now as for the extra deck, it doesn't really matter if your extra deck warps because you're not shuffling up and playing with them. But you do actually get access to a couple of the key cards in laminated foil. You get the Elemental Hero Gaia for your Future Fusion, and you do get the Nitro Warrior. And I wanted to show these off because the Nitro Warrior just, wow, what a pretty looking card. One thing that I was going to mention is that I am going to the 250th YCS. I am going to YCS LA in April, which is coming up in a couple weeks. And I will be trying to recoup the loss of buying this deck by hopefully winning a side event with it. So I'm going to be playing this deck in YCS LA. If you guys like this type of video, if you guys like this type of challenge, make sure and subscribe. I'm going to do a part 2 follow-up after I play in at least one side event at LA with this deck. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe again, and yeah, I'll see you guys in part 2. Peace.